Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome back. Today I wanted to showcase a brand new release by myself and Pig, and that is the European Sniper Rifle. Now this weapon is actually based off of a real-life firearm, and that is the FRF2, a French sniper rifle. Though, there are a lot of attachments in this that get inspiration from other weapons as well, like the FRF1 and some other French prototypes. I realized that I've never made a bolt-action sniper, and I thought that would be a ton of fun, and it sure was, and I believe that this is a beautiful weapon, one of my favorite ones that I've made to date. Now, interestingly enough, this was originally designed to be a dedicated sniper rifle, something that only had a scope and would only be used for sniping, since there isn't really anything like that in the base game, similar to Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas' sniper rifle. But after doing a lot of research on this weapon, I actually found that pretty much every version of this thing has a built-in set of iron sights that are really cool, so I felt like it was a waste not to use them. So there's actually a lot of unique iron sights depending on what attachments you pick. Now, this weapon is chambered in 308, much like the IRL counterpart, so you may be wondering how it's going to differentiate itself from the hunting rifle. Well, it does have its own unique set of animations that are right-handed, and additionally, it has some gameplay quirks that make it a little bit better. It does have the same base damage as 308, but it will have an added bonus of having extra range due to having only long barrels. Additionally, it has more magazine capacity, as the base magazine for this thing has 10, just like its real-life counterpart, and it has an extended magazine with 15 rounds, and it even has some increased accuracy thanks to the plethora of attachments in this mod. Now, of course, the question on everybody's mind is how do you actually get your hands on this thing? It is an imported sniper from Europe, so how are you going to get it in the wasteland? Well, it is a pretty rare drop, spawning only on gunner snipers and vendors after level 15, but there are also two uniques in this mod. Now, I'm actually really proud of these uniques. They both have custom assets unique to the gun itself. So each unique does look visually different, and they have their own unique effects as well. So I'm actually going to not tell you about those in this video because I want you to try it out for yourself and go and find them. But if you do want to find them, I'll tell you at least where they are so that you can go and find them for yourself and see how cool the unique effects on these are. The first of the uniques can be found over at the wreck of the Northern Star, which is that big boat over on the bottom right portion of the map. And then you can also find another one at the tippy top of Saugus Ironworks, and I will give you a hint for that one. It is actually themed around Saugus Ironworks, so that one will make a little bit more sense when you find it. Now, like I said before, this thing does have its own unique set of animations, which is a really nice addition to this mod, with a right-handed bolt because I just don't like the vanilla one. So thanks to Hitman and Haru for making those sets. We initially wanted to use a different set of animations, but we are using these as a placeholder. Hopefully we can update it at some point, but if not, these work just fine. With that, though, I think that is the basics of this mod. It's a pretty cool customizable sniper rifle. Let's go ahead and check out some of the customization options over at the weapons workbench. Alright, so when it comes to the attachments over at the weapons workbench, we have a pretty basic set of receivers from standard up through advanced, not much different there, but when we move over to the barrels, that's where things get interesting. Now, the standard barrel actually isn't the FR2 barrel. It's actually the barrel pulled from the FRF1, so that's pretty funny. But it works as a standard barrel, and it means that when you upgrade to the heavy barrel, you get the classic look of the FR2 barrel. Then moving down, we also have a finned barrel for even more range and accuracy, and this is actually based off of a prototype Hecate barrel, which is another French sniper rifle. Now, this technically isn't all of the barrels, as there is one on a unique that is exclusive to that unique, but it can be attached to other FR2s that you have if you happen to pick it up. You just have to transfer it over. Now, when it comes to stocks, we have a pretty standard set of stocks when it comes to the performance of them, but when it comes to their aesthetics, they're all a little bit different. The standard stock is a basic wood stock based on the F2, and the marksman stock comes with the standard variation of that, including a rubber cheek rest. Now, there's also a light stock based on the prototype Hecate furniture that I mentioned earlier. You can pair this up nicely with that finned barrel. And there's also a sniper stock that is based on some plastic furniture that I had seen in some concepts when looking at other F2s. This isn't the standard configuration, but it's a pretty cool one, and I wanted to add it in with these ones, and it adds a nice black look to this weapon that isn't normal, because typically it does have some form of wood. When it comes to magazines, things are pretty basic. We have a standard magazine, a quick eject version of that, a large magazine with 15 rounds instead of 10, and a quick eject version of that one as well. In scopes, we actually have quite a few options here, including a standard set of iron sights and even a glow set of those, a reflex sight that is based on the Elbit Falcon scope, a hollow sight based on the Bushnell model, a short scope based on the Colt 3x, a medium scope based on the standard F2 scope, a long scope based on a long version I also saw while looking at concepts of F2s, a short night vision scope based on one of my old West-Tech sights that I made a long time ago, and a medium night vision scope actually made by J. Cruz that looks pretty nice on this weapon. I like the profile of it quite a lot. And finally, that gets us to the muzzle devices, where you can of course throw on no muzzle, a flash hider as comes standard on the F2, a compensator, a muzzle brake based off of the Hecate muzzle brake, which you'll recognize from Fallout New Vegas' anti-material rifle, and a suppressor, which looks pretty dang neat. Now, technically there is one more muzzle brake, but again, that is locked to a unique, and you'll have to go find that one for yourself. It offers some pretty cool looking aesthetics. So yeah, guys, that is the FR-F2. I think I said FR2 a few times in this recording, so oops on that one. But yeah, this is a real-life sniper rifle used by the French military for a little while, and I think this thing is super cool, and I thought it would fit very well in Fallout, and so that's why we made it. So if you enjoy this one yourself, you can go ahead and grab that thing down at the Nexus. It'll be linked down in the description below, as always. While you're doing that, don't forget to endorse the mod if you enjoy it. It really helps it out and pushes it out to other people so everybody else can try out cool, lore-friendly mods as well. Additionally, while you're there, I've released a lot of mods recently, including some other lore-friendly weapon designs, so you can go check those out, plus some other interesting utility mods that I've made, which are a little bit out of my ordinary flow, so if you want to check those out as well, they're pretty fun, including a nice damage rebalance that works well with this mod. Over are the times of hunting rifles being super underpowered despite using 308, so for a bolt-action rifle, I would highly recommend that. Anyways, enough of that. If you guys want to support my work directly, if you like the videos or the mods that I make, you can do so using the link down in the description to support me over at Patreon. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and play some gameplay of this mod since I didn't talk much about the custom sounds. This mod actually does feature custom sounds with those custom animations, so I'm going to let that play uninterrupted by my voice so you can hear it for yourself. With that, enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.